Today I will share with you how I edited this shot in Insta360 Studio using some basic reframing techniques. So let's get started. The first step is to import the footage into Insta360 Studio. So to do this, go to Open Files, locate the folder with the footage, click the footage and open it. All the footage will load on the left hand side. When I hover the mouse over the footage and go from left to right, I can scrub through the footage to see a preview of it. I highly recommend adding the grid lines on the video because this will help frame the video better. So to add the grid lines, go to Window, Guides, and make sure grid lines and center point is checked and make sure the guides are enabled. For this particular project, I am editing in the Media tab because this is for editing a single 360 video at a time and exporting it. If I wanted to edit multiple 360 footage into a single timeline, then I will use the Project tab. I can click and drag this preview section to look around and reframe the 360 video. The next thing I'm going to do is trim the footage to get rid of the parts where I start and stop recording. So I need to trim the start and end of the footage. So to do this, I'm going to click on the timeline and drag up until I finish setting up the camera. And then I start walking. So let's start the shot here. And I will click Trim Start. And this has removed the start of the shot. And then I will click and drag towards the end of the footage just before I start to pack up the camera. About here. And then I will trim the end. And now this shot is 10 seconds long. I want to make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to go to 7 seconds in the timeline and click here. Trim the end. And now I have a 7-second shot, which is ready to start reframing. Reframing is basically telling Insta360 Studio where to look in the 360 video and how should it look at a specific point in time. So to reframe this 360 shot, first I will go to the beginning of the timeline to choose how I want the shot to look like at the beginning. I will add a keyframe, and a keyframe decides what the shot will look like and where to look. So I can choose where to look by clicking and dragging on the screen, or I can use these buttons, and you can tell by the arrows that it's going to move left and right, up and down. This is going to rotate. This is the field of view, which is kind of like zoom. And this is distortion, where you can have less or more fisheye distortion. And by distortion, I mean curvy lines and straight lines. So if I go towards 0, there is less curved lines. Now if I go towards 1, there is more curved lines. So at the beginning of this shot, I want my audience to see the mouth because it's pretty unique and weird. So I'm going to put it in the middle. And then I will scroll forward in the timeline until I go past the mouth around here. Add a keyframe. I'm going to change the tilt to 0 to straighten the horizon. And now the horizon is straight. And then 1 second later in the timeline, I want to turn around to look back at myself. So I will add a keyframe here and look back at myself. And if I play this back, you'll see the transition between these keyframes going from the view of the rice terrace to myself. And then 1 second before the end of the timeline, so at 6 seconds, I will add a keyframe here put the face in the middle. And the way the frame looks is down to your preference. So what I'm going to do is zoom out to 120 because I want to reveal more of the surroundings around the face. And here you can choose whether you want to have more or less of the surroundings. So I'm happy to keep the distortion pretty high at 0.95 because the shot doesn't look distorted since there is nothing in the foreground to give away that there is a fisheye look. But if you wanted to control the amount of curvy lines in the shot, you can bring the distortion down to around 0.25. But then I've lost a lot of the surroundings. So I'm okay to bump this all the way up to reveal more of the surroundings because it looks nicer, in my opinion. Then I'll go to the end of the timeline, make sure the face is in the middle, and add a final keyframe. So now when I play this back, the shot looks like this. Now while there isn't any stitching issues in this video, my preferred stitching optimization method is AI stitching, so give that a go if you have any stitching issues. There are options here to color grade the video, but I personally do not color grade my video in Insta360 Studio itself. I prefer to export the video first and then color grade the video in CapCut or Premiere Pro, which I will show you a little bit later. To export this 16:9 video for YouTube, I go to Export, Local Export, Export the video. Here I can choose a file name. Here I can choose where I want to save the video to. I set the bitrate to 100. I set the resolution to 4K, which is 3840 by 2160. I set the encoding format to H.265 and then start export. Over here, you can check the progress of the export. Now let's say I want to create a 9:16 version of this shot. Then what I will do is create a duplicate version and change the aspect ratio. So to do this, I go to Clip Management. I create a duplicate clip, which is this copy, and I can rename this to 9:16. I'll change the first one to 16:9 so I know the difference. So I'll click on the 9:16 version, and then I will change the aspect ratio to 9:16. And this is what it looks like. So I think it looks very distorted towards the end. So what I'm going to do is bring down the fisheye distortion. So let's try 0.5. Let's bring it down to 0.25 and see what that looks like. And let's bring down the zoom to around 90. So that looks better. So then I will go to the next keyframe and apply the same settings. And if I play this back, this is the result. Then to export this video, I will go to Export, Local Export, Video, choose a file name, choose where to save your video to. The resolution is set to 4K, 2160 by 3840, encoding format H.265, and start export. And that's it. To color grade my Insta360 video in CapCut, I'm going to create a new project. Go to Adjustment, LUT, and I'm going to import the Best 360 LUT. So I will locate the folder. I will import the high LUT, which can be downloaded from best360.shop. Then I will go to Media to import the Insta360 shot. and open it. I will add the shot into the timeline. With the shot selected, I will go to Adjust, LUT, select the Best 360 LUT, and this is the result. The strength can be adjusted from 100 to around 50 if it's too strong. And that's it. To never record blurry or noisy 360 video ever again, download my free Insta360 X5 best settings cheat sheets. In here, I share with you various situations that you might go through during the day. And at the bottom, I share the best settings to use. So if you're struggling with inspiration or what settings to use, download this PDF to your phone. You can open it anytime and reference these settings and get inspired.